All right, cool. We are officially live now. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Gaming Den. Today is going to be a continuation of the progression series we have been doing for the Yu-Gi-Oh series. I am once again joined by my friend Deck,
Hi, hi.
and we will be doing now Hidden Arsenal Set 5, if I remember correctly. Last set
That is
was the
correct.
Trishula one.
Yes.
A little history on Set 5. What makes this one special?
So, this is going to be kind of the beginning of a new age for the Hidden Arsenal. For the most part, the story we had been following kind of wraps up already with the Trishula set, uh, but we get a little bit of an in-between and going into a new age for this planet that we've been observing. As for the cards themselves, uh, this is also going to be the first Hidden Arsenal. We see a few different card types. First, spells and traps that are actually playable. We've not had that. There's technically been a few spells, but without the monsters needed to actually activate
Yeah, like the
them.
ones for Karibo and I think it was,
Yeah.
what, Cyber Dragons?
Karibo, Cyber Dragon, Wing Karibo, and Neos.
Oh, yeah, that
Were the
one, yeah.
four. Second, we see fusion monsters with the introduction of the Gym Knights, and we see ritual monsters with the introduction of Gishkis. So, from the
Giskies are
story perspective,
Sorry, I was going to say Giskies are probably the one I'm most excited about.
yeah, they're a little weird to play. So you'll definitely have to take some time to think about how to build the deck based on your pools.
Yeah.
But from a story perspective, uh, we actually have to go back a little bit to right before the unsealing of Trishula. It's where all kind of stories start. Trishula is hotly debated amongst the Ice Burial whether or not to unleash. Trishula, even more so than the other Ice Burial dragons, is extremely powerful and extremely uncontrollable. So there was two families kind of leading the charges from both sides. Uh, there was Natalia's family, who was on the side of releasing the dragons, and Noelia's family, who opposed it. But both Natalia and Noelia kind of agreed to, them as individuals, not their family, try and find out an alternative to releasing the dragons. So they began using the Mirror of Ice Burial and attempts to resurrect and control the sealed demons, the Steel Swarm. During this process, Natalia dies and becomes Kishki Natalia, a spirit monster. Aha, dead mom. Uh, Due to the regret of leaving behind her son, Gishki Advance. Because, he doesn't get a name.
Nope.
He's Gishki Advance. We'll see him. He is important to the story. He does eventually get a name, but not in a set we'll get to cover. And Noelia's mind becomes corrupted by the Steel Sword. Instead of her controlling them, they control her. So while this is happening, they finally beat the Fables back, and then Sacred Spirit of the Ice Sparrow seals away the dragon back again. Because again, kind of uncontrollable. Can't just leave those out. After the war, Noelia, remember, she's corrupted, adopts a bunch of orphans. Mostly from the Gusto clan, which is part of the Mist Valley. They live in kind of the marshlands of the Mist Valley. The same way Dragoonies like wing beasts controlling dragons, Gustos or psychics controlling wing beasts.
Also, just me, or do I keep hearing your cat talking as you talk?
Yes, he is. He is being very vocal right now. I am sorry for that.
He's taking advantage of the fact that you can't say meow back. He's trying to establish dominance.
He is. In the moment we're opening packs, I'm getting some dominance back. Uh,
Kind of an inside joke
so
for amongst us is that he likes to establish dominance by saying meow back to the cat. Must have the
yeah,
last meow in this.
yeah. So the important members to keep in mind right now are going to be Gishki Advance, Gishki Amelia, who's Noelia's daughter. Advance was the son of the other one that we mentioned, who's now dead.
So one of them gets a
And
name, the other one doesn't until later.
yeah, he gets a name later. Uh, uh, Amelia loses her name later.
Wait, what?
Like she still has it, but her cards don't have her name on it anymore. Later.
But, okay, sure. We about
Uh,
this life.
and Noelia. Now, for anyone watching who might be thinking of another ritual archetype that uses mirrors to ritual summon, good job. You get a cookie. You're on the right track. Eventually, the Gishkis will become the Necros, but this will be after Noelia's time. This is when Advance gets a name. He becomes Shrit. And by extension, he becomes every royal Necros. Amelia becomes Dance Princess of the Necros, and by extension becomes every typing was Dance Princess. Oh no, she doesn't get any of the armors. She's just support.
Mm.
Uh, but a few of the Gishkis return. A few of the Icebearers return as Necros. For those who are unfamiliar with Necros, it's another ritual deck with the rituals being themed around almost from dual terminal synchro monsters as the rituals with the corresponding levels. So we have like Necros of Trishla, a level 9 ritual with a not as good effect, but still pretty good effect, similar to Trishla. We have like Catastor as a level 5 ritual. Uh, but that's going to be still quite a while in the story before they show up. We won't be covering that. That was part of the Duelist Alliance, a concept that just isn't part of our progression.
Yeah, for now.
So
For now, at least, like we might cover it maybe later. I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet. We've been doing this progression series, kind of just getting the test and feel like how we feel about it.
yeah. So now that we've kind of covered the Gishkis, it's time to move on to the next era, the next age of this planet. So for the most part, the archetypes we have seen, they have a lot of spiritual successors, but are mostly done for now. So first off, we have the Lavalvals and the Gemnites. The Lavalvals, kind of the spiritual successor to the Flame Veils, not directly, but spiritually kind of filling that niche, is a very like warlike clan on this planet. And they decide to declare war on the Gemnites. Gemnites are generally pretty pacifist. They don't even really like defend themselves, but they're very adamant about defending each other. So a Gemnite, if you go and like punch a Gemnite, he's not likely to fight back. But if another Gemnite saw you do that, hands are about to be thrown. The Gemnites are noble in that, first of all, they're all gems, but they confuse their cores together. If for anyone who's seen Steven Universe, I stand by that whoever made Steven Universe may have been a Gemnite fan. So they begin at war while Noelle is still attempting to break the seal on the steel swarms. And then here comes the Vylons. The Vylons are kind of, they function kind of similar to angels, but they're mechanical in nature. But they descend from the heavens to essentially try and resolve conflict. Where were they during the Fables and the Worms? Who knows? I don't know, maybe they were still booting up. So they come intervene in the Laval War and Gemnite War. But they're kind of like Yeah, we're here to make peace by killing everyone who's not peaceful.
Okay.
Is kind of the approach. So it forces like the Lavalvals and Gym Knights to like make a truce to deal with the violence now.
Or just an actual threat.
Yeah, uh, but there's still being violence, so the violence are still wanting to like eliminate them, even though they're not fighting each other anymore. Uh, but the violence were originally made by the Constellos, which is later in the timeline, long ago to help fight off the Steel Swarm, and seal them away. Then there was one other like major conflict happening at this time, and that's the Gishkis invading the Gustos, the Gusto marshlands.
Hmm.
Now I mentioned earlier that Noelle had adopted a bunch of children.
Yeah.
They mostly were Gustos.
Yeah. I
Uh,
believe you did say that.
yeah. Uh, so the reason she specifically chose Gustos children is the Gusto tribe are essentially tamers.
All right.
So in her eyes, Gustos would make great candidates to control Steel Swarm. See, there's a reason why she chose them. Uh, but the important reason she decided to attack the Gustos is she wants to attain the power of God. Because it's said in their shrine, God is said to be sleeping.
Hmm.
Uh, and that kind of takes us to where this set is at that. So to summarize, currently the Gishkis are attacking the Gustos to try and get into the into the Shrine of Mist Valley to attain the power of God. The Lavalvals and Gym Knights are working together to fight off the Violons, who are fighting them because they were fighting each other. And those are kind of the two conflicts occurring right now.
Yeah, that sounds like, honestly, like a whole lot going on. I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen in the next set. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get into the pack opening. As normal, myself and Deck are going to mute each other, and we're going to open our packs, build our decks, and we will have a best 2 out of 3 duel from there.
Yep.
All right, I'll see you in a
Little
bit, Deck. All right. So with that being said, let's get into that pack opening, shall we? Honestly, as I said before, I'm interested into the Gishki part of it because I like water monsters and stuff like that. But there's more to it. Also, I want to make a mention why my camera isn't up right now. It's actually because I've been doing a lot of practicing on Pokemon lately, and I've been doing physical cards, so I've been playing over Discord. So my camera is set up to be doing that, and I've been using. I'm gonna be literally right after this be doing some Pokemon games. Excuse me. So I probably won't be streaming them, but anyways, I might be playing them on my Discord channel. So if you want to join, watch, you can. I will be proxying though, just a heads up. Anyways, with that being said, enough about Pokemon. Let's go into Yu-Gi-Oh. All right, so we immediately start off with a Gym Knight Fusion. Fusion summon one Gym Knight Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or your side of the field as fusion monsters. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one Gym Knight from your graveyard to add this to your hand. So immediately, already a relatively good card. Specifically good for Gym Knights though, but point of the matter, I don't know if I will go into Gym Knights specifically, but I will probably look into it. Contact with Gusto. I think this involves about what he was talking about, sort of. Target 2 Gusto monsters in your graveyard and one card your opponent controls. Shuffle both targets in your graveyard into the deck, and then destroy the opponent's target. So I take 2 Gusto monsters, put it back to my deck, and then destroy one monster for it. Depending on how Gustos work, that could be interesting. Laval Warrior. It is a 1800 beater, level 4, 500 defense. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster. If you have 4 or more Lavavo monsters with different names in your grave to active different names in your graveyard to activate and to resolve this effect. Oh, you have to have 4 different monsters. Okay, I get it now. I was confusing it for some reason. I don't know why. Steel Swarm Moth, yeah. Level 6, 2400. When this card is triggered, summoned by tributing a Steel Swarm monster, you can pay 1,000 life points. Target 2 cards your opponent controls, returning those targets to your hand. Okay, so I do want to note that also, because now we're going to get into having some back row options, we are going to have to be looking into those kind of things. Like, answering back row is going to be kind of important here. During the damage sub, in either player's turn, when they face up Earth normal monster you control, attack or is attack, you can send this card from your hand to grave against 1,000 attack and defense till end of turn. So it's kind of like an honest in a sense, but it's not an honest, if that makes sense. It's my best comparison just because honest is a battle trick essentially. Anyways, that's the first pack. We got many more to go. Let's get into it. We got another Gemini Fusion, and we got Serenity of Gusto. Cam. Looks like it's a level 4, 1400. It's psychic. Once per turn, you can shovel 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into your main deck, draw 1 card. That's not terrible. It gives us a draw engine. Okay. Gusto Goldo, excuse me. All 3 tuners. Tuner 500 attack and defense. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower Gusto monster from your deck. Alright, if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, doesn't that count as synchro summons? Oh, timing can be weird sometimes. Either way, it's something to keep in mind. We got another Gusto right here with Windar, Sage of Gusto. It's level 6, 2000 attack. When this monster destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can target 1 level 3 or lower Gusto monster in your graveyard. Special summon a target face of defense. Okay. It's not great, but it's not bad. What we got here for Burner? Burner is, if you have 3 or more Lavavo monsters with different names in the card name, you can special summon this card from your hand. 2100, 5. Yeah, it's pretty good, but you need specifically Lavavos in the grave, so it's not hard. It's not hard to do. It really isn't. Okay, we got Miner. What is this? Soaring Eagle above the Searing Land. What is this a Gustavo card? No, it's a Lavavo card. If this card is sent to your graveyard for a synchro monster, you can special summon this card. You must have 3 Lavavo monsters with different names in your graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. If this card is special summoned with this effect, banish it when it leaves the field. Okay. Interesting. We also have now our first Gishki card, and I think if I remember right, this is actually a really important one too. Gishki Ariel, I think is how it's pronounced. Flip, you can add 1 Gishki monster from your deck to your hand. It's pretty important. It has an 1800 defense. It actually is really useful because it helps set up your Gishki stuff. The problem thus far I'm seeing right now is that I've only seen 1 of it, so I'm kind of sad about that. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can send 2 Lavavo monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, so this can be sent to... If it's sent by battle, though, that's the important part. So, but it could help set up Lavavos. That's the important part here. All right, let's keep going. So I'm wanting to see Gishkis mostly because I want to play Gishkis, but I'm not seeing a lot of Gishkis, sadly. What's this? This is one of the Whirlwind Wall. All face-up monsters, Lavavo monsters, you can gain 100 attack for each Lavavo monster in your graveyard. So if you have like 5, you can gain 500 attack. It's something. It's not great, but it's not terrible. All right, we have Violon Soldier here, level 4, 1700 attack, fairy. When this card declares attack, your opponent, you can target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of equip cards equipped to this card. Change the target's battle position. Okay. And it does say up to, so you don't have to choose the max number. So if you have like 3 equip spells, you don't have to choose that. Now the thing is, I don't know if we're going to see any equip spells, but we'll see. Lavavel for Spirit. Like, I'm seeing a lot of Lavavels, so that might be my strat here, but, like, I'm really hoping to see Gishkis. I'm really hoping to see those. Anyways, so it's level 2, Tuner, Pyro Monster. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, all face-up Lavavel monsters you control can inherently gain 200 attack for each Lavavel monster in your graveyard until the end phase. So if it's if they destroy the face-down card first, it could just make your board entirely impossible to pass over just by normal means, but it's also something that's gonna, like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Lavavels might be my strat, I don't know. Okay, so the only reason I did that is because I wanted to see if it's the card or if it's my internet. It seems my internet's being fine, so it's just that card. I can't read it then. Cool. Or the site's being weird. That's with my friend real quick. See if he's having any trouble. Okay, there it goes for that at least, but we'll see. Okay, so we got a Steel Swarm. I assume this is a Lavavel card. Yeah, it is. 1800 attack. It's not a Lavavel itself with a name, but once per turn, during either player's turn, you can banish 1 Lavavel monster from your graveyard. This gains 300 attack until end phase. That's not that great, but it can help get over things. The reason why it's a problem is that in itself, that makes it a problem is that you have to think of one thing, is that it just Lavavels require having Lavavels in the grave. So it being not in the, like, banishing your Lavavels kind of hurts. Gishki Abyss. Okay, so Gishki Abyss. When this card is summoned, you can add 1 Gishki monster with 1,000 defense, 1,000 or less defense from your deck to your hand, except for this card. So it is essentially a way to just say, yeah, I got ways to search my deck. Here's another. Gishkis are pretty consistent from what I've seen. Just on the ability to search each other out. And then this is just a 1,600, 1,800 normal monster, which honestly is kind of important for Gem Knights. I know I've seen a few cards that involve specifically normals. Daigusto Eagles, I think is the pronunciation. It's a 2,600 level 7. 1 or more non-tuner Gusto monsters. That is important, but it doesn't matter the tuner. Once per turn, during your end phase, you can banish 1 win monster from your graveyard to target 1 face-down card your opponent's control. Destroy that target. It does have to be specifically during your end phase, so that's kind of painful, but at the same time, not the worst. It just depends. But pulling a Gishki Abyss is nice to see. There's another one, thank goodness, honestly. There's the first of our Gem Knights fusions. Okay, cool. And we have 2 of the fusion summon spell right now. So this is an Aqua monster with 2,100 defense. It's just a big booty right now. Like for Gem Knights, it does something, but it's a big booty that can be useful. We'll see. Gishki Vanity. He looks very mean. But anyways, during your main phase, you can discard this card. This turn, your opponent cannot activate spells, traps, spell slot, traps, effects, or core monsters when a Gishki monster is ritual summoned, or when a Gishki monster spell is activated. That can matter. That can matter. If there's any kind of counterplay, that can matter big time. Isn't this the... Yes, it's Windsar. If it destroys a monster, yeah, it sits at the graveyard. Yeah, okay. What does Topaz do? Topaz Tourmaline, I don't know if I've seen that, and there's one Gem Knight monster in general. Must be first fusion summon with above fusion material monsters. This card can attack twice during each battle phase. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the total of it. So essentially, it's Flame Wingman that can do, but it can attack twice instead of just once. But the thing is that's important is that it can get pretty. It can give like a lot of like just in general support if you can boost it somehow. With that being said, continuing. Okay, we got a few things here. Alright, so first we got this. We got the Gem Enchantment. The Gem Enchantment, tribute one Gem Knight monster, then target one Gem Knight monster to your graveyard. Special summon the target from your graveyard. Okay, so if you, I think you could just target one of your fusion monsters, because Gem Knights do a lot of fusing of each other to go into something else, so excuse me. Aqua Mirror Meditation. Meditation is a trap card that reveal one ritual spell from your hand to target two Gishki monsters in your graveyard, return them to hand. It is a kind of a float that allows you to say, oh, I don't have the monsters I need for my ritual. Let me just return these guys to my hand and do this. It also can return that one card you can ditch during your main phase to prevent opponents from activating something in response to a ritual spell. Lavavo the Greater. It is a synchro monster, level 6, 2400, that requires a non-tuner fire monster, not specifically a Lavavo, just a fire. That's in itself pretty useful. When this card is synchro summoned, send one card from your hand to the graveyard. If this card would be destroyed by a card effect, you get banish one Lavavo monster instead. Okay. Interesting. Wait. Gatekeeper? I don't think I've seen this one. If a Steel Swan monster is tribute summoned in face up while you control this card and face up on the field, you can normal summon or set one monster in addition to normal summon set that turn. Okay. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Okay, so there's one of our Gishki ritual spells. That's good. And then Gishki Shadow. Gishki Shadow, actually, if I remember right, isn't terrible. It's a 1200 1000 level 4 that is, if you ritual summon exactly one round of ritual monster with this card's effect, that requires use of monsters, this card can be used as an entire requirement. You can discard this card at one Gishki ritual spell card from your deck to your graveyard. So this is a card we want to see. This is essentially, oh, what was it called? A ritual crow or something like that. I don't remember. It was essentially a level 1 that could be used as the entire cost of a ritual. But it's a really good Gishki ritual card. Essentially, this is just the in general go-to card, I think, for any ritual. Yeah, this card can be used to ritual summon any Gishki ritual monster. You can also tribute cards from field or your hand whose total levels equal to the ritual monster you ritual summon. You can shuffle this card from your graveyard into your deck to target one Gishki ritual monster in your graveyard, return that target to your hand. You can shuffle this card from your graveyard into the deck to target one Gishki ritual monster in your graveyard. Yeah, it allows you to grab back ritual monsters. So that could be big, especially with Gishki Shadow, that you could discard it to search out, back out this card. Like, it's just in itself a loop. It's kind of nice. Ruby, Gem Knight. It requires Gem Knight Garnet first and one Gem Knight monster, doesn't matter which. Must first be fusion summoned by the above materials. Once per turn, you contribute one face-up monster, gem monster specifically, that gains equal attack to the attributed monster on the attack until end phase. If this attacks a defense monster, inflict piercing. It's already a 2500, so if you say sack a 1600, it becomes a 41. That does piercing damage. That's pretty strong. Depending on what my friend is going to be on, like, that could be terrifying. We got another Sapphire here. We got Vanity, so that's another good one. We got a second copy of Gishki Aqua Mirror, which is really nice. It's a ritual spell. We kind of rely on it. Evil Gishki Soul Ogre. Alright, so this card is pretty strong, if I remember right. I don't think it's our main monster, but it's a very important monster. 2800 level 8. You can ritual this summon with any Gishki ritual spell. Once per turn, you can discard one Gishki monster to target one face-up card your opponent controls. Shuffle that target into the deck. It allows us to get around some stuff, so it can be very useful depending how you look at it. But yeah, Gishki's Soul Ogre is pretty strong in itself, but it's not the best. We're looking for the other Gishki. I'll know it when I see it. I don't know its name off the top of my head. We got, what do we got here? The Master Magma Smith. Okay, this is the gem knight I saw earlier that was native Tourmaline. Okay, so we do actually have one. Okay, so we actually have two now. Violent Vanguard is a level 4 1400,000 not a tuner. So when this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card for each equipped spell that was equipped to this card. They are very big on equipped spells, and I have yet to see any, so that's a problem. This is a very Gem Knight heavy pack. This would have been a very strong pack for Gem Knights. When this card is normal summon, you can add one Gem Knight monster for your deck to your hand. That could be very useful if I go the Gem Knight strat. I need more of those if I'm going to use it then. The Gishki Chain is actually pretty good for Gishkis, if I remember right, but let's go with the Eagle. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one level 4 or lower non-tuner Guso monster from your deck. This card in itself is a level 1 tuner, so that in itself is going to be useful, question mark? But the point of the matter is that we got plays with it. So anyways, Gishki Chain. Gishki Chain is a 1800 level 4. So it's already a relatively strong Gishki card as it is. Because if we can't get into our ritual monsters for some reason, we have this as an option. If this card is normal summon, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal one ritual monster or one ritual spell among them, add it to your hand. Also after that, place any remaining cards on top of your deck in any order. Okay, so yeah, Gishki Chain is a really strong card. Definitely want to see more of those. Very useful card. Alright, we got another Gishki Abyss, so I think that's our third. That's good. Judgment Lord Lavavel. It does have a name of Lavavel, so that helps. Once per turn, you can banish one Lavavel monster from your graveyard, inflict 1,000 to your opponent. Lavavel Judgment cannot declare attack the turn this effect activated. Depending on the board, yeah, that could be really useful. But yeah, like I said, we're mostly looking for the Gishki monsters. Nothing stands out here. I mean, we have this. Gira Stag, which is a 2600 level 7. It is a fiend. You contribute this card in face-up attack position by tributing one Steel Swarm. When this card is tribute summoned by tributing summoning a Steel Swarm, you can target one card your opponent controls, send that target to the grave, and you gain 1,000 life points. It doesn't say destroy, it just says send to the grave. There are cards that specify if it's destroyed. So that could be big depending on what we're playing against. Like, I don't know. Aquamirror's Aquamirror Meditation, kind of nice to have more of. Definitely nice to have more Armadillos. We got the third and final of that. That's cool. We got another Gishki Abyss, unfortunately. What's this? Infestation Wave. Return one face-up tribute summon monster, Steel Swarm monster you control to the hand. Target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. So if they're trying to target down something for me, I can actually respond by doing that. So that's kind of nice. Definitely seems like Steel Swarms, like based on what I've seen, will have the most like responsive ways to deal with stuff. But we'll see. Alright, so we have Gishki Vanity. I think that was our third copy here. Then we have Oxandrite. You contribute this card, special summon once Gem Knight normal monster from your deck. It's an 1800. That in itself is kind of nice, but yeah. Oh, I don't see anything too much here. Another ritual mirror, so that's good. Ah, there it is. There's the card I'm looking. Even Gishki Mind August. It is a 2500 2000 level 6 monster. You can ritual summon this card with any Gishki ritual. When this card is ritual summoned, you target up to 5 cards at any graveyard, show those targets into your deck. The reason why that's good is because it allows you to get back cards that you can use like really well. There's more to it than that, but yeah, anyways. So blessings for for Gusto. Trap card. Target 2 Gusto monsters in your graveyard, plus a third Gusto monster in your graveyard. Shuffle both the first targets into your deck, then special summon the third target. Okay, I see. I see. Okay. Okay. There's a place for that, I see. Okay. I definitely want to see more of the Gitch keys, but we're probably not going to see them. I got a feeling. Not enough of them to matter, at least. At the end of the battle phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard this turn, banish one Gusto monster from your graveyard. Special one psychic type monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck. That could be useful depending. But it still allows us to search for things. That's important. When does Priestess of Gusto? Okay. It is not a tuner. That's important to note. And when this card is destroyed by battle with an opponent, when this is destroyed by battle with an opponent attacking monster and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Gusto tuner monster from your deck. Depending, this in itself is a floater, so that's not terrible. What's this? Banish any number of Lavavo monsters from your graveyard. Special summon an equal number of Lavavo tokens in defense position. That could be kind of useful if we're going for synchro plays. Another Lavavo the Greater. Okay, we're halfway through. Daigusto Glorious, I think it's pronounced. There's a Garnet right there. The 1900. Okay. Daigusto Glorious. It's a 22 level 5 one. Once per turn, you can shuffle 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into the main deck to target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Okay, that could be useful. We might be going Gustos, maybe at this point. I don't know. We got Gishki Marker. 1600 level 4. When this card is summoned, you can target one Gishki ritual monster or get your ritual in your graveyard. Add that target to hand. It's all about keeping the plays that you need available to yourself. That's really good. I think I've already read Cam's Serenity of Dead, right? Yeah, draw to shuffle 2 back. I'm seeing a lot of ways to shuffle cards back, but I'm not seeing a lot of ways to get them in the grave through normal means. Not at least not that I can think of. What do you do? I know I've seen you before. At the start of your main phase 1, if you control null spells or traps, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You cannot special summon another monster this turn. You activate this card. While this card is face up on the field, it cannot be attributed except for a tribute summon of a Steel Swarm monster. It cannot be used to synchro material monster. That's fine. Like, if we were going Steel Swarms, that would be the focus anyway. One of the focuses anyways. And we got this enchantment, which allows us to special summon. We got Lavavo Val Dragon, which is level 5, 2000. Shuffle 2 Lavavo monsters from your graveyard into the main deck. Target one monster your opponent controls. Return it to hand. Okay. Alright, we're seeing a lot of these, and I honestly am a little sad about that. Because, like, we don't need more than 3. That's the thing. Wanda was... Yeah, destroyed by battle. Yeah, okay. What does this Gem Knight do? Aquamarine. It requires Sapphire and then a Gem Knight monster. It must be fusion summoned. If this card attacks, it is... Wait. If this card attacks, it is changed to defense position until at the end of the battle phase. When this card is sent from the graveyard to field to the graveyard, target one monster your opponent controls, return that target to their hand. So it doesn't say when it's destroyed. It just says when it's sent from field to graveyard. So if you fusion summon with it, then you could just bounce a card back to the hand, right? That's the way I'm reading it. Wait, Violon Cube. That's a new one for me at least. Alright, the tuner level 800, level 3, 800, 800. If this card is sent to the graveyard for a synchro return of a light monster, you can add a 1 equip spell from your deck to your hand. Doesn't specify a Vylon monster, just if it's a light monster. Interesting. I don't think I've seen any actual equip spells though. Another Giski chain, that's really good. I'm hoping to see more of our actual Giski ritual monsters though, other than just one. Topaz, I don't know if we've seen you. Have we? No, we have. You're the 1800. That doesn't. Okay. Hello, Topaz. That makes 3 of him. That's cool. I don't. No, we've seen you. We've seen you. Okay. Yeah. Everything kind of nothing new. Another shadow. That's good. Oh, hello. There we go. There's our equip spell. Equipped to gain 600 attack. Face up. If this face up card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you're gonna have 1 violent spell card from your deck to your hand. The problem with that is that there's not a lot of them we have right now. So, I'm really looking for more of the Gishki, please. I'm not seeing really a Gishki. So I'm seeing a lot of Guzos, but not a lot of Gishkis. Like the Gishkis I need. Yeah, I'm not like I'm seeing a bunch of Gusto monsters too. There's another Gishki. Problem comes down to I don't know if I'm gonna have. If I could get lucky to get 2 more copies of the other Gishki and then 1 more copy of Ogre, I could be pretty good. And then maybe like I would need 1 more copy of Champ. But the thing is I literally need to see them all in these next packs. And even then I'll be missing 1. Nope, we're not gonna get it. That's unfortunate. We will have the 3 shadows though. Contact with Gustos. I believe this is the last pack. Yep, the last pack. And it wasn't even Gishki. That's unfortunate. I'm actually really disappointed in this. Yeah. Like, I probably pulled really well, but I didn't pull what I was hoping for. But we can still look into what we got. We will go now to our collection and see what we got. So let's see what we got from Gishki. From Gishki, we got 5 of that. We only got 1 of you. Wait, I didn't even know we. Oh, it's a nice barrier, but it's a. Okay. As a strategist, that's why. Okay, that's why that if I just had GI. Okay, so we only got 1 of you, and then we got 2 of you. So not great. We got 3 of the shadows. That's great, but we definitely did get enough Gishkis to actually make this work. Sadly, we got some, but we don't have it to work straight into the Gish, just straight in Gishki. We would have to figure something out. Um, let's see. Remember what the defense and attack were each of them were. Okay, so we can't add the rituals. Yeah, we didn't get a lot, sadly. Like, we didn't get the things I really wanted. Alright, let's see what we got Gustos on. Because we got a decent bit from that. The only problem is we didn't get a ton of, like, tuners. Hmm. Um, Okay. Violet. So this. So we pull like next to nothing for them. Actually, I think the one other one I haven't checked was Lavables, which looks like I'm not sure how I feel about this. Wait, I just saw something. Wait, why doesn't it? Oh, because it only includes the name. It doesn't include anything that specifically supports them. Shoot. It actually makes this a little more difficult to figure out. A little, not a lot. But I think we could still do something here. Take something. Hmm. Some of these cards are actually going to become more important this matchup. Okay. I'm thinking of a strategy. I think I have an idea in my head. Okay, so we're going to shut you up first off. Okay. So, Gishkis are all water monsters. The thing is with Nutrias, though, they require monsters to be in the graveyard for them to really pop off. Like, example, Dragonfly. Dragonfly is a great example of this. Dragonfly requires the more you have of it in the grave, or more nutrient monsters you have in the grave, the more you can do with it. So, my idea is to do a very small mix of Gishki monsters. Now, the thing is that I gotta keep in mind is that I don't think we have to, hold on. I need to double check wording. Doesn't specify water monsters. That's the important thing. I don't have to specify. Yeah, it doesn't specify water monsters. It just specifies monsters. I think I have an idea. Like, we can't rely completely on our notorious thing, but we can do something with it. Then we have the Gishki mirror card. Where is it? There it is. I don't know if it requires target 2 Gishki monsters in the graveyard. Bring them to your hand. Yeah. And then the Gishki ritual spell in itself actually can send itself back to hand by doing the. You can shuffle. Because, oh, actually, you can shuffle this card from your graveyard to the deck to add 1 ritual monster from your graveyard, return that target to hand. And then there's ways to search out this from the Gishki monsters that we have. So we actually could do a Gishki strat here. I actually think we could do that. It's going to be weird, but if it works, it's going to be great. Then we actually, hold on, before we go back into this, we need to open the trap back up, so we may keep an eye on that wording. It's not super important, but it's important. We have 3 of it, so that's something to note. We have 3. We have 3. Yeah, that's important. Okay. Yeah, I think we can definitely work with this. Okay, we just need to know what Gishki monsters do we have. We have 2 Ogre and we have 1 of you. We have only 3 Gishki monsters that are ritual monsters, but I'm pretty sure we can work with it still. Because we have Shadow and we have Aqua, and then we have Ariel. Yeah, because it just adds 1, so I think honestly, no. I'm gonna take these out for now. We're gonna probably do some of the Gishki package here. Then we're gonna do 3 of the mirrors, 1 of that. Then we got the Gishki trap, right? Where's the trap? It doesn't have Gishki in its hand, that's probably why. Well, let's go ahead and look up just the Gishki monsters for now. So we got the 1 Ariel. Got 1 Ariel. We got 2 Gishki chains. 2 chains to work with. Not 3, 2. Got this. Got 3 shadows. I need Abyss more though. Abyss can summon us. Shadow. Hmm. No. Okay, so we're going to be changing up our strat a lot. We are going to be putting some Abyss into the sideboard. And then we have, don't need it. We could go a little bit harder into the strat, but okay, but I'm more focused on the Nutria side, because the Nutria side I think is going to be our answer to a lot of problems here. Like example, Vein. I think Nutria Vein could be actually a potential another answer we could use. Okay, so I actually just talked to my friend, and he told me that he also had some trouble with the packs earlier, so that's something to know. So I wasn't the only one. So, anyways, yeah, we could look at the Vein here. Vein, I think, could be an answer. You contribute this card along with one neutral monster, negate the activation of component spell or trap. Nutria Vein could be something we could probably use a little bit of, but we don't want to do too many of it. We just do like 2. I'd say probably 2. Because at the end of the day, we also still have Sunflower. Sunflower in itself can be used for the effect against monsters, right? But it's still something we can use. Rose Whip could be a little more useful just to prevent our opponent from using too many spells and traps. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get too many of them either way. Like, we're both going to have them. Sadly, Spiderfang is just still not good. Excuse me. We could probably one Nutria or Ladybug. Excuse me. Hmm. The strats I'm looking into that I didn't want to look into before because they weren't necessary, but now it's kind of like, I'm still not convinced about Hydrogate, Hydrogen, or whatever it's called. But I'm looking at my other cards because I didn't really look at them before. The problem is summoning it out. We could run a little bit of tulip. Tulip can help it slow down their pace a little bit. But we probably would do it like maybe two. So Nutria. All right. Let me see. 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 I'm scared. We could probably say like one of you. That's fine. I'll do like two tulips. I don't know if he actually has a way to destroy them or not. I'll still probably keep these in the sideboard though. That's still important. Um, what is this assigning? I think we're gonna run Vayne in the sideboard though, because that's still relatively good. How many of the Nutria synchros do we have? 3, 2, and 3. Then 2. I got a feeling we're probably gonna need to see a beast a little bit more. Then I think we could run like one more of the tortoise. Okay. Not great. I'm not expecting a lot, but it is a strategy. I honestly like this Nutria strategy that we've had, but I think we're gonna, so I'm gonna stick with it. I just want to look up one, make sure on something. What are some other cards I can think? I could probably do Ladybug. I think I was gonna do. Where is it? There it is. Hmm. Yeah, I think that will have to do. We'll test it out. I'm not promising anything here. We'll just hope. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm ready.
I forgot I had the mic itself muted.
Fair enough.
Do you need the unlimited room or is advanced fine?
Uh, unlimited just in case. I don't remember. I didn't look.
Okay. Standard stuff.
Yeet.
and I am glad to announce my deck this week is both epic and based and a little accurate. This is honestly probably the worst deck I've built, but it's so funny.
Honestly, this might be a pretty bad deck. At the same time, it could also be amazing. It just depends how I draw. All right, good luck, have fun.
Yep. Yeah, no, this one was interesting. There's a few things I was wanting to try, but just couldn't. There just wasn't enough codes for. So this is what I ended up settling on.
Fair enough. I'm gonna set 1, and then set 2, and I'm gonna pass.
Oh. Beginning of main phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have no spell trap codes, I'm going to special summon Steel Swarm Scout.
Ah, so you're on Steel Swarms. Gotcha.
I will tribute the Steel Swarm Scout for Steel Swarm Moth.
Mm-hmm.
I will pay 1,000 to return the monster and this back row to hand.
Okay.
Whack.
I should have figured you would have been on Steel Swarms. I had a feeling.
We play into the Emblem column. So Steel Swarm was kind of the second pick archetype for this deck. The other port came first, and then I kind of looked at things and went, "Yeah, Steel Swarm makes sense to go with this." Mhm.
Sure, activate Shadow from hand.
Yep, add the Ritual Monster.
Actually, I think it's a spell. Yep,
Does
spell.
Shadow this stuff?
It does add a spell.
Okay, that's good because monsters are definitely easier to find.
We're gonna go ahead and set that back row back down, and then we're gonna set a monster, and then we're gonna pass. Not advancing game board state at the moment, but too much, but it's something.
Let's know some in Winda. This is a character that also returns with new forms in the lore.
Sure.
Morphin.
That would be my Rosewood.
Attacking for 1,000. Winda, since we have already mentioned some things with Duelist Alliance format, will become a Shadal later in the story, as well as a Ritual Beast card.
Wait, really?
He gets to be both for a time. If you've played Master Duel about 3 months ago or so, you probably saw a fair bit of El Shadal Winda. And the Ritual Beast Winda is also the only monster that is both a Ritual Beast and a Spiritual Beast. Mothin. Hit for 1,000. Main 2. Step 1.
Okay.
Exhilarating moth-based gameplay right now.
Hey, man. Like, It just isn't helping what I'm drawing right now. My head's kind of hurting a little bit right now, but what can you do? So my only assumption is that could be a tuner right there, but
Attack.
well, this time it's something actually a little different. You actually destroyed Cliff. When this card is sent from a field to graveyard, you can special summon level 1 or level 4 or lower neutral monster from your deck in attack position.
Okay.
And I will do that with
Clearly Rosewith.
I might be out.
Also, 400 attack. Probably isn't great to summon attack wise, so I have another one.
Does not. How many monsters do I have in there? I'm not done. I'm just checking something.
Yeah. Is it nice that Rosewith actually has an effect now?
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Like, Euteria cards just skyrocketed in value. Like, Beast, that card does something now?
Yeah, it
It's
does
not just
something.
posting catastrophe.
It does something now, sir. Wait, have you normal summon for turn yet?
I have not.
Well, that makes my play a lot easier. Say hi.
Okay. Main tool. Let's go. Flip summon. Any response?
It only is one normal summon, so no.
Okay. You will synchro summon.
Just 7. Yeah, 7. Are you gonna send it back to my hand, sir? Yep, you're gonna send it back to
Unreal
my hand.
Dragon. I can't summon that.
Why not? Oh, water
That.
monster. Yep.
Yep.
Can't summon it. Kind of important.
You saw nothing.
I honestly don't know what it does.
It's a goose, though. It floats.
I know that. Okay, so doing that makes that.
Moth beat down, baby.
That makes that number that. Problem with that is that one thing is that you are actually bigger if even if I do that play. Yeah, bigger if I do that play.
Also, have you noticed anything about the size of my extra deck?
It's 14, not 15.
I don't have 15 technically summonable synchros.
Well, whose fault's that?
Look, I might not be on Earth Monsters. Oh, Gen X controllers. Oh, light non-tuners.
Oh.
Oh, filed.
Wait, crap. That still doesn't work because I thought.
Turns out Waddle, file. A lot of the file synchros need file non-tuners, which I don't have. The violence all need lights, and I'm not playing those.
Shit.
The Notorious need Oath.
Wish I had a way to do that. Shit. Sure, not the greatest idea, but normal summon.
Yep. When sent to the grave. When this comes from to the grave. Worth noting, Mrs. Timing does not trigger if you use it for synchro material. I get special level 2 Gusto from the deck. Level 2 low, which is going to be a level 2. Winda. Level 4 low from the deck.
Non-tuner.
Non-tuner. Does have to be a non-tuner.
That's the important part here.
Because we just have to be in defense mode. No, it does not. Aha.
Whenever you're done with your stuff.
Cam. Century of Gusto. Let's fire Cam. Shuffle these two back to draw a code. Let's go. Gishki's Shadow.
Yep.
Add Miro to hand.
You have the ritual.
I do, in fact, have a ritual. Special summoning the Soul Ogle, discarding Soul Ogle.
Yeah, now I'm kind of regretting I didn't play it that
And
way.
then I'll go ahead and just activate the Miro, shortcutting it to add the Ogle back.
And it does that. Yeah.
Maybe. So yeah, I mean, my deck's kind of cool. Um,
All right, good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Sure. Actually, no. Do that.
Yep. Oops, special. If you summon
Does that technically
Ghost
count as a normal summon?
the Ghost Tag, yeah, it's still a tribute summon.
So it still counts as a normal summon?
Yeah. Okay. Let's send the fruit fly to grave. And I gain 1,000. Attack.
Oh, that was pointless. That
It
was
saved
literally
you
pointless.
2,600 life points.
And none of my plays matter right now.
Mill a gold for me.
Why are your tribute summons so fucking big?
Look, man, it's a 7-star.
That requires one tribute summon.
Yeah, we don't talk about that part. To credit, it doesn't do anything unless that one tribute is exactly a Steel Swarm, which generally suck. So 2K right now. I'm very glad the levels do not line up to Catasto. Oh, wait, doesn't die to Catasto. 3-0. Yep. Both. Big 23. While I control no monsters. We'll send the Brio, gain 1,000. Lycan for 26.
This feels like the literal most pointless match I've played thus far.
Yeah. Set on this side. Ooh, mixing it up. Flip summon Agishki monster. Solo Gishki Mill. Something advance. Soul.
That
Oh,
was a
good match.
that was a garbage showing. Don't nope. That was garbage. I stood literal no chance. My plays were negligible because they barely slowed you down.
Yeah. So I want to know, what backer were you on?
Doesn't matter because the package is not on the deck right now.
Okay. Well, I sided in One Apocalypses to deal with it. He finally has his time.
I literally needed to get me back into this game at this point was Dragonfly, and I didn't see it. Because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on my grave right now. That would have been 1,400 attack.
Yeah, so I've been at, what, 26 and can't be destroyed by battle, essentially.
Yeah.
That would have been able to, like, build the Steel Swarm there. And then you'd only take 200 from the Sologo attacking into it.
If you also forget that the Soul Ogre's effect.
I don't have a Gishki in hand.
So.
It is can't be destroyed by battle. It's not. It can't be attacked, right? On Dragonfly. Okay, so out of the line where I could have made a Catasto to clear it. and got in for damage at least.
Yeah, like that was no contest.
And my deck was like I know this sounds like feels like gloating, but like my deck was so fucking cool this week. I'm a little sad I didn't get to show off a lot of it, since like normal summon Steel Swarm was like good enough for both games. But like I'm maxing out like the Gishki stuff, other than the one that prevents your opponent from responding to your summon.
I literally drew like absolute garbage.
But I got all 3 mirrors, so like I had all that.
I had 3 mirrors. I had like 3 chains, 3
I didn't play
shadows, 6 abyss, but I only saw 1 aerial.
Hmm. Yeah, I got like a place of like everything Gishki, except I only got 2 of the Mind August, and I didn't get any Gust Krakens. I ended up siding out the Mind August for game 2, just to make space for like sideboard stuff. I'm on like an 11 code Gusto package just to buy time, because I figured since I'm like trying to assemble like this like dumbass plan of using like Steel Swims and Gishkis, having just a long ass floater chain would be good enough. And then the cam being like code advantage at the end of like a float chain on your attacks is decent.
Like this was just super annoying.
Yeah, and like it feels bad because your like out was to bounce it, and it's like I got 5 more guys in my deck that I could draw to tribute summon it. Like there was maybe a world where like the play was to only bounce it and not attack my face down, so I have less live draws to summon it with.
The problem still would have been it's on the board.
Well, no, what I'm saying is bounce the Steel Swarm with Rio and just leave the set, which was the aerial, because that would have kept me off of drawing the.
For all I knew, it was a steel swarm.
Yeah. Uh, it would have left me off drawing Cell as like an out, which was what I ended up drawing. Like I would have had to draw an exactly Scout. Realistically. But like that still feels bad because like now you're still just kind of doing nothing for the turn. Like you still have to find a way to deal with it in like the permanent long term.
And no, like nothing I'm drawing like feels like an answer to your deck. And it feels god awful.
Yeah, a big part of like the logic when I was building this deck was the Steel Swarm levels line up pretty well to make the Gishki rituals in the events I don't have Shadow, which is reasonable. That like I'm not always going to have access to Shadow, or I'll have to use Shadow to like search the spell.
The idea was to use at first Gishkis to ritual off Nutrias into the grave. That way I have them in the grave to do things like Dragonfly, etc.
I will say like I'm looking at this hand here. It's like it wasn't doing like any Steel Swarm stuff at least for a while. Um, like if we say I went second, like I have the tribute photo, but I don't have like the tribute guy. So like it'd been like a set Gusto and then like float into something. to like open that, float into uh, like float there and then like draw. And nope. Solo has defense points.
Yep.
A lot of the Geshki rituals just don't have defense points because they'll steel swarms, and like all the steel swarms have no defense.
There was one line I had literally earlier that I could have grabbed your 2400 because of Fruit Fly.
Yeah, it
The
flies pretty
problem,
good against the steel swarms.
the problem with that though lies in one thing: I had no way to
Like,
get rid of it
yeah.
because it was like what, a level 6,
Yeah.
and then I had no way to synchro into something that otherwise would have let me
Well,
into something.
it was 6 for the one that I used game 1, 7 for the one that I used game 2.
Yeah, and the problem was is that like my tuners were like not the levels I needed because I have level 9s and then I have level 7s and that's nothing in between.
Yeah. No, I kind of feel that. Like it's really hard to like synchro with something that high level. If you have like a level 1 with the level 6, you can go into like an Obellum. Um, but like a lot of like the like level 8 pool just kind of sucks right now. Like we just don't have good level 8s that could be made. But yeah, like I like my deck a lot. Some of the other things I was looking at is I was looking at a revolver deck, making use of the continuous trap to just be bigger than you. The one issue is there's a decent amount of monsters for the revolver deck, but like 3 of them aren't revolvers, so they don't count.
Yeah,
Uh,
I saw those. And I was
yeah,
just
like
like,
those are
yeah, these don't
revolvers.
feel bad.
Like if they were revolvers, I might have been playing around with like a Flameville revolver deck this week,
You're still
but they're
running that
not.
douchebag?
Hmm?
You're still running that douchebag?
What?
Galabaz?
Galbaz?
Or whatever his name is, the Fabled.
Yeah, it was side deck. It outs things.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, like he's just an out to stuff. He's okay. He's a fine, just good cold. Uh, like I still have, like I also still have like the shock troops in the side deck for like outing Brio, but like this deck was so much more like competent at like threatening Brio. The previous decks I had that I didn't end up siding it in. Same thing. I still have Geomancer in the side deck in case you go to like monotyping, which realistically, like siding it in and just calling Oath with it would have been pretty good this week.
Yeah, I completely sided out my Gishki stuff because I'm like, it's doing nothing for me right now, especially if I'm not seeing anything I need.
Something else to remember too is the Gishki Mill does not let you use more levels than the ritual monster. You have to be exactly the right level.
I mean, that's not hard.
It's not, but there's some like weird stuff where like you have a bunch of threes, so if you have like three threes, you can't make the solo go. Um, just this is just like some weird number stuff that comes up. Like if you have a 4 and a 3, you can't make in either of the sixes. Part of the logic with my deck was one of the tributes I was running was 6. I sided it out in the other 6, and then I have a bunch of level 1s that I can pair with the level 7, and still make the, soul logo okay, and with 3 soul logo, there's always the option of just tributing soul logo for soul logo, and then mirror back the soul logo to hand a Discord to the first soul logo. Just some neat line stuff. I only pulled 1 Aqua Mirror meditation. Uh, I thought that was gonna be, like, more of a detriment than it ended up being. Like, I thought I would want more of these, but I never got the fire. I drew it game 1 and just I never got the Gishki's engraved needed to activate it.
Yep, me. That was my back row actually.
Like, it's good. Like, if you resolve it, it's amazing. Uh, and truth matter is, if you have a single Gishki in the grave and a shadow in hand, you can just pitch the shadow, grab the mirror, and then meditation back the 2 Gishkis in your grave.
Yep.
So if you have a ritual monster at that point, you got your full ritual summon. Like, you generate pretty decent value.
So what comes out next set?
So, next set. Let me.
Because we're on 5, I think, right now, so we're on 6
Yeah, we just
next.
did 5. Let me go down to it. Four, 5. Okay. So we got more Gym Knight stuff. More
Good.
Lavalvos, more Vylon. Lots of more of like the stuff we have. More Gishkis, more Gustos, more Steel Swarm. Uh, we get a couple more Gym Knight fusions. Worth noting with the upcoming Gym Knight fusions. This week, the 3 we had were this specific Gym Knight plus any Gym Knight. The 2 new ones are a Gym Knight monster plus a specific type of monster. So Citrine requires a Pyro, and Prisma Aura requires a Thunder. This alone will make Gym Knights much more mixable. Certainly, the idea of playing something like Lavalval Gym Knight opens up in a way that previously didn't. Vylons get new synchros as well. Gustos finally get a win condition with Sprees, but also still like so Sprees helps a lot with Gustos. It gives them a way to like actually kill. uh, more traps. Largely just a lot of just more stuff for the existing decks. Uh, Worth noting, I think specifically, Lavalval Lakeside Lady.
Wait,
Oh
what?
no, not Lakeside Lady. I mean, Lady's still good, because she's removal from grave, for set codes. But it's not the code I was thinking of. Gishki Vision, very important for Gishkis. It's Shadow, but it grabs the ritual monster. And just like Shadow, it can be used for the full ritual summon. Gust Kraken is next set. Fuck this code. Fuck this code. It is a hand rip. Like we still don't have the stuff to like do Gishki FTK, but this was an important part of it. This is part of how you play through hand traps. It's when you ritual summon it, you look at 2 AM cards in your opponent's hand and you shuffle one of them back. We get our first exceeds of the format. We get Gym Knight Pull. It's a rank 4 with 2600 attack. It doesn't do anything. It is a vanilla.
I remember.
Yeah. Lavalval Ignis for as a rank 3, just 2 level 3 monsters. Most of these are going to be pretty generic because we're pretty early into the Exceeds era, so they wanted these cards to be easily accessible. Uh, essentially during damage step, you can detach to give it 500 for the turn. It goes up to 23. It's not great, but just being able to turn random level 3s into a guy with a stat line might just be fine. Violent to Sigma, probably unplayable. It needs 3 level 4 monsters. But if you do make it, it is extremely strong. It's 25 attack. It detaches to equip a face-up attack position monster the opponent controls as a equip to it. And at solid damage step, if it passes a monster whose attribute is the same as one of the monsters equipped to it, just destroy it. It becomes a catastrophe. So very solid. Evil Gishki's get rank 4. That for detaching material, when you destroy something, instead of it going to grave, it goes back to deck. It can matter for like some floating effects type stuff. Not super amazing, but it's 2100 attack, 2 level 4s. Daigusto Phoenix could actually be important. 2 level 2s, once per turn, detach material to let a wind monster attack twice during each battle phase. It suffers 1500, so that can threaten 3000 damage. But if you have like a Gusto Synchro, suddenly it starts threatening significant damage. Violence actually getting more than one spell. Big. Yeah. But for the most part, it's more of the same type of stuff. Like outside, like the introduction of Exceeds, it's more of the same. The decks that got support this set will have support.
So we're not seeing any more support for Nutrias like anytime soon.
No, we're going to be through with them for the rest of Hidden Arsenal.
Joy.
Yeah. Well, what's in there called Era 2 for Hidden Arsenal? We'll get a couple new decks with Hidden Arsenal 7. Oh god, those on this set?
What?
The DD Espo Star Sparrow package. I say package like small. Though bad monsters. Garuda is probably the closest to being okay. And it's a 150-25. That when it attacks a monster goes up to 28 for the damage step.
I see.
Has some just generally okay cards in it as well. 10 Goldfish, Ghostwing Spirit. Those have nothing to do with the lore. They just need a place to import those.
They're just like, fuck it, we're gonna put these here.
Yeah, more or less. Like they found a spot to shove it in to give it to us.
Just toss it in. They'll accept it, right?
Yeah. In Arsenal 7 has a code. I will pop all the way off if it gets summoned.
You will
It
what?
won't be, but I would pop off. Sophia, the goddess of rebirth. You ready for one of the most convoluted codes in this game?
You mean ever?
Level 11, Fairy. 3600 attack, 3400 defense. Cannot be normal summon or set. Must be special summoned from the hand by banishing one face up ritual, fusion, synchro, and exceed from anywhere on the field. Cannot be special summoned by other ways. This code special summon cannot be negated. When this card is special summoned, banish all other cards from both players' hands, fields, and graveyard. Cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this effect's activation. So if you can get Ritual in all 3 extra deck monster types on the board, You get a 3600 attack monster, and both players go to top deck mode.
It banishes all cards from grave.
Grave, field, and hand, other than itself. Like, it's a big payoff, but it does require 4 different types of monsters to be on the board between both players.
So it requires a fusion, an exceed, a synchro, and a what? And a ritual?
In a ritual, yep.
What the heck deck does this?
Hmm?
What the heck deck does this?
Nothing. Honestly, as well as a deck that does it all on its own, Blue Eyes is probably the closest.
Which one?
Blue Eyes?
You're not wrong.
But, like,
They do have a ritual, they do have a fusion, they do have a synchro, and they do have an exceed.
like, this is a code that was, like, printed because of Blue. And not to be a functionally playable code. Like, so if he's honestly, the fact that it's in the last set we're doing is great, because it does kind of represent the end of the first run of Dual Terminal. Kind of in the name Sophia, Goddess of Rebirth. After 7, we stop having the hidden arsenal sets, but the world that we have been following gets completely recreated. So nothing we've experienced up to this point gets to stay when that happens. Like, it's a very, like, fitting code to end the series on. And then we'll have to see if we get reborn.
Hmm. Well, I think I've only won like what, one of these games against you, so
I think you got last week.
yeah. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think it was just last week. So a little sad. That deck was cool, but hindsight, though, it was some bad choices being made in it.
Oh, whose fault's that?
Yeah, I should have not been playing the Dragoon cards in here.
Yeah, well,
Or if I was, I should have been playing more dragons. I was playing 1 dragon in the deck
why?
because I could grab it out of the deck. Tribute monster.
No.
Look,
Just
I said
no.
hindsight was bad. I acknowledge my mistakes. But, like, once you get access to it once, you don't need access to it again.
No. Bad.
Plus, all the other dragon fucking suck.
Meh. No.
If I had more phalanxes, I would have had more phalanx, but those were too bad. Honestly, even if I just ran the foolish burial Dragoonity, it would probably have been fine. So I had 5 ways to send it instead of get 2 ways to get access to it.
Yeah. Instead of just having to rely on one.
Like, those 2 copies of the Tribune deck.
Yeah. Well. Either way.
I only had 2, but they were there.
But yeah, like I will say, next week we will not be doing this because I actually will be in Florida next week for a trip. I will be participating in a regional event for Pokemon. Maybe you guys will see me on stream, maybe not. I don't know. It just depends on how well I do. So hoping I do well enough I could get it on the stream match, but if not, whatever. Not a big deal. It'd be nice. What's up?
I didn't say anything.
I heard something.
I bumped my mic a little bit. Typing.
All right, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this episode. So next week, there will be no stream. I will be out in Florida, so not much I can do about that. So with that being said, thank you all very much for joining me here today. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for your support, and thank you for joining me in the gaming den. Thanks for watching.
Bye.